My Mechanic Services.
Already got the tires off. First I'm going to start off with removing the caliper and brakes. So I'll swing around here. You have some electricals that you definitely don't want to be pulled on. So we're going to release it from these areas right here. I'm going to take the caliper, the whole bracket off from here and there. Okay. So we're going to make sure these wire harness is all good and everything. Good. It's like the brakes are okay. Don't really gotta disturb them any. Then we got some control arms here. We have one here and we have one on the other side. You know, after we get done, because we're doing struts, but we're gonna do the control arms first. We're gonna go here and then we're gonna go here. They did not pick up looks like this could be a ball joint connector right here. Just gonna disconnect it from there. Okay. Looks like it got some kind of little torque fix just in case you can't get that fucker off. Okay. Everything else looks okay on here. I don't think we need to do anything else other than getting this boat out of here. and taking this lower splash guard off here. That'd probably be one of the first things I'm gonna do. Cause there's always some plastic shit that's always in your way. It's like a boat all come off from right there. And there, got some rusty boats. I'm gonna spray them down right there. I'm not gonna record this whole job. Looked like somebody did some painting here. I don't know why they did some painting. But yeah, it's like you need some control arms is not really that bad. And if it was any problem with these ball joints, I don't see anything wrong with them. Now they didn't come with the ball joints assembly. It goes to here. Let me show you. Now if you look with these, see right there, they did not come with the ball joint. So they just replacing these control arms. I believe the other one is just like it. I don't see any ball joints, so I'm just gonna replace that part. Don't look like anything wrong with it. I don't know if these guys just replacing this. Somebody told them, hey, you need control arms. I don't know if they got any play in this or anything like that, but these control arms should have those. So I'm going to look up some information on this to see if they have something like that in stock. What else could be? Looks like these do get pressed in. They just go in. I'm not really sure how the setup is. Looks like they got some torques on the side right there. Just looking at, got a boat there and a boat over there. It's kind of weird how this setup is. There, right there. That's about it. I'm just gonna replace these. Never really did no ball joint assembly on this before. My guessing, they think it's gonna fix the problem. Not really sure. It doesn't look bad. Got some movement in it. I don't know how much play it's supposed to have in it. Probably none. But that's what I'm looking at here. Now I go through AutoZone all the time. I'm not really sure that they even have something like that in stock. If they do, I really don't want to be pressing in or pressing out something like that. I could, but I'm gonna call the customer up and see if they want to try that. Yeah, let's do this. All right, before I start anything, I want to take this control arm off right here. So I'm gonna take these off over here. But I want to see about this boat because maybe it's hard, maybe it's not. You know what I'm saying? Take the other side off. I'm going to remove these caliper bolts. on both sides. That side over there, got them both loose. Just getting them all ready. No biggie. It says in the manual to remove the CV axle. I would say yes and no. Not really. We will see here. I'll disconnect this one here. I want to get a good hit at that. The axle could be removed. Or just use a wrench. Just keep going. Looks like that's a 13/16. It's just coming off beautifully. I didn't record a lot of the stuff. I mean, I got a lot of things taken off. First things first, we got passenger side taken off. I just basically kept everything connected, took everything off. And how I did all that was I basically, you want to take all the electricals, mainly the speed sensor. So that means you have to disconnect the CV axle. Take the CV axle out, hang it up, take the caliper off and hang it up. You want to take the first control arm, you want to disconnect the bolts off of them, and you want to take the bolts off of them. Now, that definitely a way to take that bolt out. You want to remove this bracket that goes here, which don't make any sense why they even put it in there. Right there, you have two bolts that's up there. Take that out. Take the splash shield off, undercarriage off, so you can get to it. You want to disconnect the sway bar link to the strut. And then you want to hang all this stuff up. You want to disconnect the tie rod in, put that up, set it to the side. Then you want to ratchet off, or wherever you want to do, the other end to the control arm. And since we're waiting on a ball joint for this particular vehicle, we just got everything sitting here, but I'm going to put everything back together, almost everything back together, before I receive the ball joint, which the ball joint only hold 2 bolts. It goes mainly to this one. You can get some torques, or inner torques. I'm gonna take them off. You get a lot of separating to do on that, and it does come off evened up. Okay, now once you do that, disconnect everything. That one's already disconnected. Did that yesterday. This is the passenger side that I took off. Okay, hopefully any of this helped you guys, even though I didn't show you. You know, if you're a mechanic, basically you want to do the same thing on the same side. This is the driver's side. Okay, get all that done. Then I'm gonna try to record the reassemble so you can see what's going on. Basically everything is in reverse. You know, you want to take everything off the same way and put them back on the same way. Torque down everything to torque specs and take it from there. Let's put it all back together. And here's all the parts that we need. Now the customer got these parts from, I don't know where it came from. Now that's the other end to the ball joint I was talking about that they did not purchase. And that's the other control arm that goes in the middle towards the rear a little bit. Then we have the struts. I'm not really sure where you got it from. I'm pretty sure if you bought this and you came in the same box. And that's all we got to do. Put everything back together. Separate some things. Take some things out. Of course, I undid that bolt right there so I could take it out. Undid the bolt on that one so I can take it out. And we're going to separate these nuts off of here. And then we're going to start with the driver's side. We're going to disconnect. We're going to connect the struts to the hub assembly, which I have this hub assembly sitting over here ready to go. Of course, when you take off that, you want to separate the nut. One of the way I take it out most of the time, I always, you know, disconnect, loosen the bolt up, and get some light over here. Disconnect this bolt and kind of use like a pick, of course, like to separate this just a little bit. Separate it from down here. Just knock it out a little bit. Knock it out that way a little bit. Basically slide right out until you're ready to tighten down. Now these bolts, it's not ready to come out all the time. You want to lube them up as much as you can because they can be real bitch. And then putting them back in, it can be a real bitch too. You want to definitely put a lot of lubricating, penetrating oil, and let it rest for a little while. And that's what I'll do. I'll spray these down, clean some of these things where the piece is gonna go. Also, you want to clean this out a little bit for the new ball joint that we're going to get. If they come with new bolts, put them in. If they don't, use the new bolts that come with them. Most likely when you get it online or offline or whatever, definitely the new bolts don't usually come correctly. So you want to definitely get everything prepared. Like I'm doing here. Like for instance, you're gonna have to separate the ball joint from the other piece. And come like this, with the bolt all ready and everything. Even though we're not using this again, it's gonna come with a new bolt. Put the new threads in there. That's about it. Let's keep going. I don't know who told them they need this stuff, but it's definitely doable. Need to be done. Clean out some of these boards. You don't gotta go real crazy with it. Just, you know, clean it out a little bit. But that's about it. Let's go. Okay, we're back. Like I told you before, I didn't record a lot of this job, but I'm gonna show you some things that I put stuff together. Now first, when you put on these struts here, you have like a little button here, so you have to get this bolt out of here. It takes a lot to get that bolt out of there. It's really rusty. So in order to get that bolt out, you won't be able to slide this strut in there. So you definitely want to get that out and put that in there. That's about it on that one. I'm gonna get that in there and put the bolt back in. There we go. All right, I didn't show you. Basically, I got the vehicle lowered to the ground so I can get these all lined up and everything. And since I got all this stuff still connected, the rotor, everything, the hub assembly, this thing is very heavy. So I got to drop all the way down, mostly down, not all the way down to the ground, so I can just hook up the bolts and put them in. Like for instance, this side I haven't put in just yet. I got it waiting on, and that's very heavy. So once I get it to position, I'm gonna put it in there, put that in, and hook it up to there. That's about it. I'm going to continue this another day because I'm still waiting on a ball joints that the customer did not buy, so the car is stuck on my lift until I get that part, which should be here tomorrow. So I'm prepping everything today to get that done. Now on to the next vehicle. This side all tightened down just yet. That was a little bit tighter. It's a tie rod. You know, everything is not tightened yet. Even this is not even tightened yet. See all these, got these in, the bar in there. See, still got the brake caliper still off, but we have all the bolts in there. And like I was saying at the other one, you want these to be nice and flush and tight on there. See how that's in there? Nice and flush and tight on there. And we're good. Everything's in. Halfway in. Getting there. Getting going. Now we're back to this side. You know what I'm saying? Get them a little close, nice and tight. The reason I'm showing you all this, because I'm going to shut it off from here and keep going. Show you after. Let's go. books are really tiny as hell. Gotta be super tight. So we're good. See how close it is now. Nice and flush. You see it coming out the top a little bit like that, like the old one. You good. You tighten those down. You're ready to put the control arms on and just hand tighten everything. So you're ready to start snugging. Plus you want to start looking at everything. The only thing we didn't change on this is definitely the tie rods and the sway bar links, which I think they should change in the future, because these tie rods look like they almost been there. Going harder. See the iron. Hold up. Snugging these down. Tighten that one. Tire rod real quick. Reach it. Do it by hand. I have everything pretty much tightened down. You gotta tighten those down when I get it on the ground a little bit. Everything's looking good. Everything's great. Just got to tighten some things and also put some things back on. Gonna wait to put this bracket back in. Like I said, you gotta remove this bracket, just the bracket right here. I gotta be on both sides. I'll sit it right here so I can remember. That's that side. And that's this side. Everything seems to be tightened down. Putting the brakes on last. Tighten these down. Plus I gotta tighten this down. Make sure everything nice and snug. That's about it. We're all good. It's looking great. So once I get it down on the ground and everything, I can tighten all the bolts that was on the top. They nice and snug, but need to torque them down. Everything. This bracket right here needs to be installed. It's like on the other side. Everything's nice and looking good. We're gonna be done with this. That's it. Let's do this. Hello, sir, again. I tightened down everything. You wouldn't believe what was loose. It was the sway bar link on the passenger side. Tighten that down, it was just jingling around. That was the noise. After checking all the bolts, went to that one on that side again. Took the car on a test drive. Got the swirly lines and ABS, parking brake or whatever that is. So I'm gonna put up the scan tool and see what that is. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna scan and do this together. This is no wheel speed signal, rough road detection, driving speed, possible minimum speed when coasting. I'm not really sure what that is. See, driving speed, wheel speed sensor, front left signal change. Why? Don't know. Let's see. Let's go to the speed sensor one. We're gonna go to all of them. Front left, right, wheel, rear. We'll do all of them. Okay. Now let's go for a drive. If we can, they doing work here. Okay. I gotta move this out of my way. This up here. If I can do this with both hands. Okay, now. I took it on a test drive earlier. Noise is gone. Sway bar link passenger side. It was loose. There was none of the parts that I installed. The sway bar link I didn't change. I just took off the front sway bar link, and that was loose and wasn't tightened all the way down. It was tight, but it wasn't tightened all the way down. So far, no noise. No noise at all. Going 55 miles per hour, and that's what's on right now. Either that speed sensor, something is wrong with the speed sensor, and what the vehicle was saying, something, well, that code is not on here no more. When it said it changed. I think your vehicle didn't like something different as far as the speed sensor. Car drives perfectly, no noises. We'll go over bumps. That was that sway bar link. How can one little sway bar link make that much noise? I can't believe it. I know I torqued down everything. It's just one thing I overlooked was the sway bar link on the passenger side. And when went up underneath the car and touched it. I was like, this is definitely what. As you see, the speed sensor is working. I don't think it's working any differently than any other one. Everything is the same. If I change it up and graph it all to look at it like this, when I'm pulling inside the shop again, all these speed sensor is going to be the same. I'm pulling up to the shop right now. Now, if I can hide the sun a little bit, all the speed sensors are the same. Front right, front left, everything's the same. Could go on another test drive on this is the reason I showed you that yesterday. I took perfectly care of the speed sensor, which I work on cars all the time. I know that was like literally the first thing that I took off was a speed sensor when I did this job on this car, because they little magnets that reads the half shafts, reluctant ring, that's what they call it on most cars. But something changed, which I don't know what changed. I could what I could do is pretty much maybe take the screw out of the half shaft again and reset the half shaft in there. Maybe it's just reading it differently. Maybe it wasn't put back in the same position. That's the only thing I can think would change. But I mean, it's reading it. Oh wait, that's a little different. No, wait a minute. It's like, look at that. Oh, I think we found something here. Now you see the little drop down? No, none of these other ones have that drop down right there. Drop down right there. Let's keep driving. Wow, that's interesting. That's real interesting. Should have put it on the graph earlier. That's definitely a sensor. Something is different on this sensor. Okay, let's go again. Let's see if we see any more. Look at those drop downs. It's like, yeah, the rest of them is not doing that. All of them is just smooth, and that one has some kind of little drop down. It's like dropping down, dropping out, or dropping down. Wow. I never thought of putting it on camera, like putting it on graph like that. Wow. Holy crap. That's interesting. Oh, I think we found the problem here. That sensor, something's going on with that sensor. It's like it's working, but it's just dropping out. Sorry about the long video, but I'm trying to be more thorough when I do this stuff. Now look at the right one over there. Look at the left one. The one that it's talking about. BMW is so sensitive. Okay. That's what the problem is. Right there. That sensor is definitely something's going on with it. Something different about it. It's dropping out, dropping down, or whatever it's doing. So I guess we're going to be, I'm going to see if I can, like I said, take the bolt out of the half shaft, pull the, maybe pull the shaft out a little bit, and kind of like, when you pull the shaft out, it just connects to like a little, can't really explain it. I can do that first and see if it changes.
And it's a little box right here. This
wow,
one right here.
That's crazy.
Little speed sensor. This one right here.
Wow.
Nothing was
on graph all the time.
Unplugged it.
Didn't know it would
Plugged it back
do something
in.
different like that.
Stretch or anything
Yeah.
like that.
I think we got our,
Okay.
hide the sun.
We
got our problem.
Brake. Tells you when
Either the sensor.
This one right here. That one.
Look at these drop down.
Nothing was pulled out.
Right there. Right there.
And that's the sensor.
Of course, it's going to keep going because
and this is the
it's live.
speed sensor right here.
We're at 0 now.
It's all plugged
That's
in.
definitely the problem there.
Anything like that. It's all plugged in.
That's the problem.
It's good.
That's definitely the problem. Wow. Learn something every day. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolt out first and yeah, maybe take the bolt out and I'll see if it does anything differently while me just sitting here. Everything's just flat, 0, because we're sitting. No different. I move a little notch. I'm going forward. Definitely something different with that. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Either one, it's gonna be me changing, taking the bolt out of the half shaft and turning the shaft and pushing it, putting it back in, and see if the sensor reads it a little differently, or that's something wrong with that sensor. I have one other job that I have to do today. No, 2 other jobs I got to do today. But at least the noise part, that's done. But the sensor part that's when I'm going to go for it next. Just want to give you that update. That's all I got for now. But I think I'm definitely narrowing it down. All right. I'm narrowing this down. It's that sensor, or maybe the shaft, and like the way the shaft was in there differently. I mean, it's not in there differently, but turned a little bit in there and got to tighten it back up, and the sensor just not liking what it's reading, or the sensor itself is no good. But yeah, we're definitely narrowing it down. I'll get this done. First part is done. The noise. which was the sway bar link on the passenger side. That noise is gone. Dries perfectly now. That's it. And get started on these other cars I had to get going on, but we definitely narrowed it down. I'll keep you updated. Okay. Alright, this is what I'm doing today. Like I said, I was gonna take the screw out. Now, not normal. You would have a screw like this on normal cars for the half shaft. So, goes inside there, like that. Let's see. Now, those are the ridges that goes onto. If I can show this on camera. That's a half shaft. You really cannot get this wrong because it just goes in those screws there. So I can't do this with two hands. There's a speed sensor right there. And this pulls out right there. You see the grooves in there? Nothing was compromised. I believe this is you can turn this. Sensor looks fine. I don't think anything was in there that was compromised. I need two hands for this, but I'll put this back in there. There's a little rust on some of these little grooves, but I don't think nothing in there was compromised. No, definitely not. I'm looking more towards the sensor. Man, something wrong. None of those grooves was compromised on the actual shaft. Kind of loosen this up. So I'm about to remove the sensor itself. Bolt goes there. And of course, the bolt in there that comes out. Kind of fishtails up to here. To there, where I show you where the box was. Kind of loosen these already to move this shield back to get to that box. But yeah, none of this got compromised. See, when I first did it for the first time, I took the sensor out, took out of the holdings right here, and I just had it dangling right here. Actually, I'll put this little thing right here, right there, so it can just sit right here while I take everything else off. So, I don't think it's going to matter if I even put this shaft in there, turn it a little bit, put it in there differently. I don't think it's going to matter. I could check that out first, but I don't think it matter. Because if I go here and turn the rotor, I don't see any lost ridges that was on this. So I'm looking more towards the sensor being bad, which is not reading it right. I'm looking, I don't see anything that was compromised in there. Not from either side. Why they make half shafts like this? On regular cars, is usually the shaft the bolt comes out here, or the nut comes out on the half shaft, and you just put a bolt on the end of it. But this one is differently. Oh shoot. That's the bolt that comes in there. Got a spring loaded. It goes in there, tighten it up. And this was tightened down to torque. So none of that was compromised. Sensor sounds like it's going to be the culprit. Nothing wrong with the line. Nothing wasn't where the box is right here. I just unplugged it that one day and plugged it back in to see if it made any difference, because it was saying something changed. There's no marking saying this should sit this way or anything like that. It just goes in and connects to the other thing that's in there, which is the say the wheel bearing that it reads when it's turning. None of this was compromised. Nothing's cracked or on the sensor. Everything looks good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the sensor, order another sensor, put it in there, put the shaft back in there, put the new sensor on, put everything back together, and take it on test drive, clear the code, take it on test drive, see if there's any change with that. I'll keep you updated. Probably won't record the next video. Maybe I will, maybe I don't. It's just a lot of time consuming. But yeah, I got your vehicle on the lift right now. Now that I have another appointment today. I might have another one later on, but I'm not sure. But right now, this morning, I'm gonna work on your vehicle so you can have it back, get that new sensor, and get it done. I'll keep you updated. I think that's gonna be the fix for it. New sensor. Gonna get the sensor from I think AutoZone. They might have one in stock. Hopefully I don't have to go to BMW and get a sensor. It says AutoZone has one in stock, so I'm gonna order that from AutoZone and keep you updated. That's it. Okay, I want to show you this before I remove the whole thing. Now I don't believe all this rust, because there was nothing on the actual part of the sensor right here. It wasn't scraped, was not broken, but you just got a lot of rust. It was in there. See if I can look inside that hole. I can't look inside that hole. Sensor is in the way. Oh shit. Okay. Now it reads on a BMW, not sure if it's called reluctant ring or anything like that. But looking inside there, I turn it. Looks good. I don't see anything crazy on it. I mean, what it could be, rust is inside there. I don't think so. It looks pretty clean. The magnet part that it reads doesn't look too compromised. You can clean it out. See what that does. But I don't think any of this got compromised. I think the sensor just don't like something. I'm gonna clean this off, because if I get the new one, install it, and it does the same thing, I doubt that it will. I see anything weird? Everything looks good in there. Ball bearing, all that stuff. That looks okay. I think we got a bad sensor. I mean, I'm gonna clean this off. I don't want to. I mean, there's a lot of time consuming if I clean this off, put everything back, put this back in there, put this back in there, tighten everything back down, and put the sensor in there and take it on test drive. I believe it's going to do the same thing, but I don't know. It's a lot of time consuming. It's time is it? It's at the right time, 10, almost 10 o'clock. But yeah, I'm just gonna order a new sensor. Go from there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna order the new sensor. Looks like the new sensor from AutoZone. If I look it up. No lights. Holy crap. I might be able to get it for cheaper than that. But I want to make sure that this is the same sensor. It looks like kind of, and as you know, aftermarket parts. Looks like it. That sensor look a little more squared and not rounded like the other one. Looks like it. Got the little ridges on it right there. Oh, it's about the same. It's kind of like the same. Get the little ridges on it. I'll get that ordered. Hopefully that's the right one. Like I said, I could just clean that one out, clean the inside of that magnet that's turning on that, and clean everything and stick it back in there and see if it does something different. And, I'm about ready to probably clean it out first before we order this. I can do that. It would save money, but it would, dampen my time. I got another job that's supposed to be coming here pretty soon. I think I'm going to clean it. Maybe some rust got in there and it's just making it drop out. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna do that. I'm going to clean it off, stick it back in there, put it in there, take it on test drive, scan tool, and if it's still doing the same thing, I'm gonna get the new sensor. Okay, that's it. Okay, I cleaned the speed sensor, and I cleaned inside where the magnet is on the wheel bearing, and tighten everything back on. Torque the nut on the half shaft. Let's see if it works. Cleared all the codes already. Everything's clear. Let's See if we see something here. Okay. 1 second. Okay. There we go. Now I gotta put the car in reverse. There we go. Why isn't... Oh, it was in neutral. Ooh. Let's see something different. 1 second. Okay. I definitely see something. I don't think I'm intimidated by BMWs anymore. All cars are the same. I close my shop door. I am going to be really shocked if that fixed the problem. Just had rust in on the sensor and whatever it was. Okay. Now. Okay. Just moving back. I don't see any dips. And we don't... Let me see. We don't have no codes. But still gotta take on test drive. See. Seatbelt. I see definitely something different. That is crazy that some rust got in there. Trying to doubt my skills. Okay, let's go. Oh, I can't believe this. That was the problem. But still, let's go on the test drive and see. Noise is fixed. That. Holy crap. I am shocked. Just call me Mr. BMW. Not intimidated by this car anymore. There wasn't nothing wrong with the tightness. Well, one of the sway bar link. But they all did the same thing, did the little drop down. I am going 47 miles per hour. There is no codes. I cannot believe this. Really? BMW is really that sensitive to... Oh my goodness. I can't believe that just fixed. That is really ridiculous. I think I'm going to brush my shoulder off and... Wow. Wow. Oh my God. No drop downs. This is a learning experience on the BMW. I knew if some sensors usually sit on the outside of that, BMW's is inside, a little rust gat in the inside of the speed sensor. That's crazy. We dodged a $200 or whatever how much that speed sensor was bullet. That is nuts. I can't believe that. Okay, the noise is gone. Fixed. Tighten down the sway bar link, passenger side. and the speed sensor is fixed or wasn't broken. Had rust. This is definitely something for YouTube. Had rust inside of the speed sensor to wheel bearing that I never thought of that would be the problem. We are fixed, car driving perfectly. I only got to put my hand on the steering wheel. It's straight, super straight. You don't need no alignment. That is a fix. That I never even thought. Mr. BMW. Now that wasn't my fault. It was rust in there already, and somehow rust got on the sensor and it didn't like it. It didn't like it at all. That is crazy. I cannot. Call me Mr. BMW. I'm not intimidated by this car. I gotta put my sunglasses on. I deserve this. This car is fixed. And it drives perfectly. No noises. No codes, nothing. Came back and look at that. No drop down. Everything looks the same. No codes, no lights on the dashboard from after the test drive. I deserve that. It was a long process, but that's definitely, this is done. That was ridiculous. We're done. Your car's done. It's fixed. It rides great. It's good. I feel great about it because I didn't think that was going to fix the problem. Didn't have to order the new speed sensor. And I didn't do anything wrong as far as the tightening of the sway bar link. I think when I put the sway bar links on, which was the last things I put on, I only had to disconnect the top when it hooks to the strut, and I tightened the driver's side, and I assumed that I tightened the driver's side, the passenger side one. But I guess, I'm not perfect, but I think I am a BMW person. I'm not intimidated. I work on a lot of different vehicles, BMWs. I've done one of these before, Benz and Audis and all that, but I just don't like working on these cars because they're very sensitive. As you can see, that proves that this car is very sensitive. Now, that's the end of this. This car is done. That was a nice little learning lesson. And I'm going to read the codes again, which is going to say it's definitely a clean bill of health. Look at that. I cannot believe this car is sensitive. Okay, I think my other appointment just came up. And we're done. All clean bill of health. We're done. You can pick the car up. She rides, and she rides great. We're done. Bye.
My mechanic services.